Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian and welcome back to Hearts of 4 as we are playing as the United States in our USA versus Communism Let's Play. Alright, so before we get started in today's episode, just to address a couple things brought up in that first video. So first of all, there was a concern about the fact that us forcing them to go, the Germans, to go communist while they're going down the democratic branch of their focus tree could cause some issues because they might not be able to do certain focuses. And it's actually a legit concern. I looked at this before and I didn't think it would be an issue because the branch for the democracy here, we don't actually want them to do most of these. So if you look at this here, they can go down this one just fine, no issues there. They can reestablish the free elections, no issues there. But then when they get to the monarchy compromise, it does require 40% support for their democratic party. So therefore, they're not going to be able to ever go down that route. It won't be possible for them, which... When I was looking at this before, I didn't think this was going to be an issue because, like, we don't want them to go down the Great Red Menace. We want them to be allied to the Soviet Union, which a lot of these are all about that. The Democratic Germany is very much, anti-Soviet. And then we don't want them to form the CEA, the Central European Alliance, obviously, because we want them to, again, join the Allies. So, yeah, we don't want them to do any of these here. But we do want them to go down this route here and get the research slot. That's the big one. That's the really only the main issue I see here, is that Germany wouldn't be able to get their 5th research slot because of this. They also want me to go down here. That's not that big of an issue. I don't know how that one would exactly work in the faction. There's already going to be some shared shared research that they're going to be able to do without Germany doing this one. So that's not that big of an issue. This one obviously be helpful for them, but again, not that big of an issue. And they require that the Norway is in the faction, so that might not happen anytime soon, because it does require them to do this one here, and that would require them to do this one. So I don't think either of these are an issue, but this one here I think would be really nice for the Germans to be able to get. They'll be able to produce infantry equipment and all sorts of tanks and artillery a little bit quicker. They get a nice little production bonus there for it. It's not significant, but it is helpful. But that's the only one I think down here that I'm worried about. But it's mainly about the research slot, guys. So what I think I can do, if you guys are okay with it, and again, I want to ask you guys permission because if everybody watching it is okay with me doing this, because when we started the series, I said the only thing this mod changes is that event. That's all that's in the mod. But if you guys want me to, what I can do so that Germany can get this additional research slot, but again, it's not that big of a deal because, we're going to be facing like the entire world. So Germany, missing one research slot, I don't think is going to make the game that much easier. But we can do this if you guys want. And what I'll do is I will remove this line from here. Technically, I'll cut this line from here and then just paste it into this one here. So it's not that difficult to do, very easy for me to change. And then it would just result in them not being able to go down this route, which means I can't get any of these focuses here. But they could get the brain drain. So that's the main benefit. Plus they get the plus 5% stability. Actually, they'll get a plus 10%, I believe. So that's really what they're getting here, guys. And they wouldn't be able to go down this route either, unless I made more changes and said it didn't require for them to go that route. I think that might be a bit much. But yeah, let me know, guys, in the comments what you think about making that change so that the Germans can get that 5th research slot. And then the other thing is I had a lot of people ask why I chose to have the Allies be the faction instead of the Comintern, considering the fact that they're the communist faction in the game. And the reason why I did that is solely because I was a little bit worried that certain people's faction tree, like Germany, which has these focuses that might result in them getting like negative opinions with the Soviets and then not wanting to join the Comintern simply because of that. I don't think any of them down the communist branch has any problems with the UK or the Allies. While some focus trees do have issues with the Soviets, I didn't know if it would cause problems, but I was kind of worried about that causing issues. And then plus the Allies are the biggest faction in the game at the start. All the Dominions are in there, so that was another reason to choose the Allies over the Comintern. So, and I also wonder if it wouldn't be more likely that, if all of Europe and all the world goes communist, that the Soviets would kind of join, that communist alliance rather than all the other countries joining the Soviet alliance just because they were the first ones over here. I just don't know that they would do that. I don't think Western Europe would do that. unless, you know, like Stalin played a massive role in the conversions of these countries into communism, then maybe that'd be different because he'd have more power in those countries. But yeah, that was kind of my reasoning, guys. You could have kept it. The Comintern, I suppose, might not cause that many issues, but we didn't, so it's fine. But yeah, let's go and get started. Let's go and let this play. I do expect that there won't be any conflict in this episode. Probably not the next one either. I mean, we're going to try and get as far as we can, and we need to take a look at that Japanese Civil War that's happening. We'll try and get as far as we can. My goal is, again, to get through 1 year, so I'd like to get through all the way through 1937 and into 1938 a bit. But yeah, I don't expect to see war until 1939, guys. It's going to be some time. So we did get the experience here, and we got some more military factories. So now that'll open up this research slot, the Scientist Haven, allow us to get our 6th research slot. So that's what we'll do. So we have these military factories to get assigned, and we have those dockyards. How long until the escalator clause? 16 days. That's when it's invoked. So we will wait to build our capital ships until that happens. It's only 16 days, so that we can build them at full size. So we'll just put our dockyards into whatever for now. One thing I would like to get here, guys, is anti-air, because with that experience, we're going to make an adjustment here to our division designs. So we'll actually need to get some anti-air building. So we'll get that going. Clearly, we need to put more factories and infantry equipment. Just not quite making the progress onto that as I'd like. I'll put one more into anti-air as well, and then maybe one more into fighters there. So we don't have to mess with this for a little while. We do need to continue to trade for chromium, another civilian factory going to the Cubans. So we'll do that. And then Japan. I want to look at Japan here. You know what? Let's go ahead and do these division design changes first. So rather than use the regular infantry division design, we're going to use the National Guard division design. And that's because the National Guard division design is actually bigger. It's 24 combat width, while this one is only 18. So by using this, we're going to be able to save experience because I am not going to build a 20 width division design as I often do. Many times we'll have a 20 width and then we'll slowly move them up to 40 width when we have more equipment and more manpower and all that kind of stuff. I'm thinking we're just going to skip it, guys. You know, we're probably not going to need to operate overseas on land for a little while. We just need to be able to, you know, defend against the Mexicans and the Canadians whenever that happens. So I feel like having some 40 widths would be just far better than you know, trying to do the 20 widths and then slowly moving them up. I think this would be more efficient, guys. So that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and switch out this line first. And of course, again, this is just going to be cheaper than using the other division design. We want to change this, change the name. We'll do that now, actually. And just like our typical series, oops, can't spell here. You guys can provide any name suggestions for any of the units that we're actually going to be using. So this is our 40 width infantry division design. So we will need a specialized name for them. We don't want to just have them called infantry division. So yeah, post any suggestions down in the comments below, and I'll pick the best one, the one I like the best. I like clever names or names that have, you know, some type of meaning to them or some type of historical reference or something like that. So yeah, post some names down below, and I'll pick one. Maybe for the next episode, might be before the one after that, guys. So let's get 2 anti-air in here. Then we're going to want the 2 anti-air. Then we're going to leave 2 slots, so 38. We're going to go up to 38 combat width for the anti-tanks. Give ourselves just a little bit of heart attack, a little bit of piercing. We could go by 4 and like double it up, I suppose. We're not going to do all that, guys. So we are going to go and get the recon detachment. And do we have the experience to continue building? We do. All right, so because we want to get, you make sure we use all this experience here, guys. So that'll be 40. And that's, yeah, that would fit what we have, and that's exactly what we need. Excellent. So we're going to set at 38. We'll put the anti-tanks in as soon as we get those. So let's go and save this. We have 19 total divisions using that. This one here, we're just going to completely get rid of this division design. We have 7 of them. So let's go ahead and find them here. Those 7 divisions. And then we're going to take one of them, just one, and change him over to this design. No, we have this cav division. We don't need this either. So you know what? We'll take one more of those infantry. If I can find them. I should have changed their icon so it'd be easy to find them. So yeah, let's go and take one more of these guys. Change them over to our new design. And then we're going to take all the rest. There should be, what, 4 of them remaining. And right here. All right, so there's 5 remaining. So yeah, 6, this is what we want. So we're going to change these 6 over to the Garrison Brigade. Now, somebody asked me why I don't just get rid of the Garrison Brigade and the National Guard divisions. And we're going to need a smaller division design, guys, to cover certain areas with low supply or where you just don't need as many troops. We'll need a smaller design for like Alaska and for our islands over here in the Pacific. So we will want to keep those units around, which is the reason why I just increased their number up to 15. Because we're going to start moving them probably next episode. You know, we need to start getting everybody situated for whenever war ends up happening. So we can go get the radio detection for the radar stations. We can start building those, get that done. But you know what, guys? I think we might just go ahead and go after this basic fire control system first. Yeah, because it's not 1938, so we won't be able to put the radar into our ships just yet. So yeah, let's just go ahead and go with this one, so we'll be able to put those into the battleships. And yeah, remember, we're just waiting for that escalator clause to be invoked. We could build units, but equipment's going to be a massive issue with those changes. You can see we're still lacking quite a few things, so I don't think they'd even be able to train very much. There's no real reason to rush that, guys. We did get the battleships, so we'll be able to get those designed soon. And remember, we're going to go and keep 2 slots towards these naval techs. Now, we've got all the equipment that we can get, so we're just going to go for passive bonuses. And we'll go and start with the damage control. That is super helpful. It does help you avoid critical hits, but the critical hits are the ones that are to a particular part on the ship. And they just take a really, really long time to repair. Like an incredibly long time to repair. So you definitely want to reduce the chance of getting those. All right, so we're constantly losing support among... in the House and in the Senate. Instead of witch hunt, reminds me of South Park, a witch high pursuit. That's what we'll call it. But yeah, we're constantly losing and gaining support here. It's kind of strange. Now, politics were, of course, very, very different, you know, here in the 1940s in America than they are today. They weren't quite like today, but of course, with today, you know, each president gains and loses support more based on which party is in control, as most members of Congress pretty much vote down party lines for the most part. Not always, but mostly. So we've got that knocked out. And so yeah, we'll go ahead and use this second slot here as well. Let's go with... we just built all those light cruisers. And I do apologize if you guys can hear the wind in the background. It's pretty loud. It's like throwing stuff against my window right now. It's very, very windy tonight, guys. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do the, we'll do this one. Get the, excuse me, this one. Get the light cruiser benefit, and it gives a light attack and piercing for all ships. So I think that'll be helpful. So we're gonna knock that out, and we'll continue using our experience, our Navy experience, to get those techs quicker. And the escalator clause has been invoked. Excellent. So with that, we can now go ahead and design our ships. So let's go and do that. The carriers, which we've already designed them. Right at this point, I don't think there's anything to add because we don't have the radar, got the anti-air, yeah, everything's done here. So nothing needs to be changed except for the name, because you guys did give me several name suggestions, and I think there was a little bit of confusion here about the name suggestions, and I think that was probably on my part. I wasn't clear that we're not looking to name every individual ship. We're just looking to name the class, the ship class, guys. We don't want to name all the ships. Every individual ship. That just takes too long. And then you get so many by the end of the game, and yeah, I just feel like it'd take way too long to name every single ship. So we're just looking for names for the ship classes, guys. So we won't have it be like USS, because that's typically, ship classes weren't named that. That's what an individual ship would be called, USS Roosevelt. So yeah, we do have about, 5 or 6 name suggestions. So we have several for future ships, but feel free to post more names if you want, and I'll put them on the list, guys. So let's go ahead and rename it, and then we can go ahead and get a building. No changes needed, so we got to save that, the naval experience. So obviously we're going to want to prioritize that. Probably only going to want to build one. I'm sure we're going to have adjustments that we're going to want to change up on this. And change the keys back so I can move it WSD. For those wondering, I'm able to do that through my keyboard. My keyboard has a function that allows me to do that. All right, so we have 2 full lines here going towards the cruisers. Let's put this into the submarines, and I almost want to pull back on some of these so we can get the submarines continuing to build. But you know what, we can build plenty of those. It's not gonna be a problem. All right, so we have our first line of carriers building. I almost want to do another line of the carriers, but maybe we'll wait. Yeah, we'll wait, guys. Let's go and change this up a little bit. We're going to do like 20 here and then 40. Yeah, 20 and 40 looks good. No carrier, close air support, not going to be necessary just yet. All right, excellent. So we've got those designed there. And I think that's all we need to do, actually. You know what? Let's go and make sure these ships are being added into here and pulling out any capital ships that might be done. No, they're still working right now. All right, excellent. I'm sure we don't have enough planes in the stockpile to really make use of those. What we could do is go ahead and get our intelligence agency going. Let's go ahead and do that, guys. We're gonna leave it as the standard name here, Office of Strategic Services. The unique name for the U.S.'s intelligence agency, and the unique icon that they have for the OSS. And the reason why I was kind of avoiding doing that, I didn't do it early, is because I wanted to get this other stuff built first. I find this to be a little bit more of a priority, getting all this stuff done. Getting the factories, get the dockyards, all that kind of good stuff. Try and get the fuel capacity up. I felt like that was more of a priority. In fact, we do not have a high enough fuel capacity yet, so let's go and get one more of those. I felt like that was a priority because, frankly, there's not really a whole lot we're going to be able to do with the intelligence system. I mean, there is, and we have that, so we're going to build the battleships here. Let's go and get the anti-tanks so we can build those and put those under our units, guys. So we're going to knock that out. But yeah, with the intelligence agency, we can start working on decrypting other countries. That helps, decrypting their ciphers. So I suppose we could have started on that. There's a lot of countries we need to do, and it takes a while. And doing it early is a little bit easier before they get those intelligence agency upgrades. We got our 6th research slot, fantastic. Don't need to go down the Manhattan Project, since we'll be able to get those techs until 1940 at the earliest. We won't do this just yet. We're eventually going to want to, and I don't see us going down this route either just yet, so I think it's time to start moving on to the War Department's branch, specifically so we can start going down this naval side. I think that's likely what we're going to do after this one. We'll take a look at all of them and make sure that's the one we want to do. We also need to get this research slot doing something, don't we? All right, well, let's go ahead and do probably support companies, guys. I think we should probably get some more of these. Especially the field hospitals. I always find those to be pretty darn useful. And how are we doing on this equipment? Still trying to fill it out. Alright, so we've got our intelligence agency. Oops, I didn't mean to close that. So open it back up and go ahead and get something else going, probably the department there. So we can start decrypting. Alright, so again, just continuing working on these naval techs. Try and get them all knocked out, these passive upgrades. Again, this is going to be a very naval-focused campaign, I expect. Let's do... I guess we'll do this one next. And I did forget to build the battleships, so let's go and do that now. Yeah, it's going to be a very naval-focused campaign, guys, I expect. Alright, so they've already filled out some of this here, so let's go ahead and get everything upgraded. We do have the Fire Control 1. Which is excellent, so that's going to give us some nice no modifiers. That's very helpful for capital ships. While I don't really find it all that useful for the smaller ships, capital ships, it is quite useful. All right, guys, this is going to be our Ironsides battleship. Again, based on one of your name suggestions, that first ship is the Roosevelt. I didn't really mention that, but that was one of your guys' suggestions, and I think that's not named after FDR, but Theodore Roosevelt, who, in my opinion, is one of the greatest presidents we've ever had. Fantastic president. And I don't think he's a controversial one either. I think a lot of people just don't know about Theodore Roosevelt and the things he achieved, because it was so long ago, and that's well over 100 years ago that he was president. So yeah, and this one's going to be Ironsides. And as far as like what we're designing here, obviously this is not preferable, guys. I would prefer to have this heavy battery on here, but you can see that the cost here would be too much due to the London Naval Treaty. So just unfortunately not going to be an option getting this. So what we're doing here is having a very anti-air focused battleship that should be able to help us with that. We could of course do more light attack instead of the anti-air, but I feel like all those cruisers we just built will be able to do that quite well. And frankly, lighter ships just don't do well against battleships anyway, so it's just not as important. So I feel like getting the anti-air would be a little bit more useful for this model. So this is what we're going to do with these early ones. They're just going to be very anti-air focused, since we're limited on the production costs. So everything else I think is good here. Yeah, we're good to go. So let's go ahead and save this. And let's go ahead and get them building. We'll just build one line of these because they're not the greatest battleships ever. And I think we'll have to pull some from our cruisers here and our submarines. We'll kind of pull back like so. All right, that looks great. All right, so we do want a lot of convoys, so I'm going to keep 2 dockyards going towards that for right now. We are short on the chromium a bit, and that's going to impact the cruiser production here, but I don't think it'll impact it by much. Let's just take a look here. Yeah, it's 1.8%, guys. That is not significant. So I'm not going to trade a full factory away for that right now. We did get the firefighting drills. Excellent. Let's go ahead and go with the next one. And the reason why we're going to go down these over the doctrines is because with the doctrines, we could research these much faster later on once we get, research bonuses. And I don't know what we're going to do for our theorists yet. Probably not naval, but maybe if we did a theorist, then that would just speed that up as well. So with these ones, these aren't going to get any faster. So, well, I mean, other than the fact that you research faster as you go anyways. Let's go after the torpedo attack. And knock that out. And again, our Navy is going to be the main focus in the early game because that's going to, of course, be paramount to us, winning this war. Is we cannot be facing constant naval invasions on all of our ports. We just have too many damn ports to defend all these. I can't put a division in every single port. That's just not realistic, guys. So, I mean, maybe later if you had a ton of divisions, but then those are divisions that are not fighting on the front. So yeah, I think it would be better to just lock down the ocean and stop anybody from even being able to invade us. It's going to be key. And of course, it's going to be paramount to be able to invade. If we ever want to invade Europe or Asia, then we'll need to have a powerful fleet. So very much going to be focused on the fleet here, on the Navy. So we can now select our operative. Hopefully that wasn't sitting up there too long because I wasn't paying attention to it. But yeah, hopefully it wasn't up there too long. Looks like we've got a lot of ladies, 3 ladies here. And then 2 of our characters have the seducer trait. So they're super sexy. And she kind of looks like a librarian to me or something like that. So, I mean, I guess it's good for blending in. But I mean, I guess if you pull her glasses off, she lets her hair down, she looks completely different. And then he's got the seducer trait just because of that smolder. So let's see who we want to go for. Probably one of the seducers, frankly. I think they'd be the best ones for us. And you know what? I feel like Kate, the librarian, I think she's going to be very good at her job, guys. So let's go ahead and move her. And you know what, guys? I think we're just going to move over to Germany. There's really nothing to do with her, frankly, which is, again, the reason why I wasn't really prioritizing getting this knocked out. Diplomatic pressure, that's probably not going to be very useful in this campaign, considering the fact that the main point of it is to get people to join your faction over another faction. Considering the fact there's only going to be, or there should only be 2 factions, 1 communist and 1 democratic, pretty much everybody is going to be predetermined to go to a faction outside of like fascist countries. But any democratic or non-aligned is going to want to join our faction, and all the communists are want to join their faction. So yeah, I don't think there's going to be too many countries to pressure. Control trade, probably not going to be that useful either. I think the problem is going to be a lack of trade partners, not, them not being able to give us enough resources. Obviously, we don't have resistance issues right now, so yeah, it's just, we're not going to do propaganda because we don't want to convert anybody. Kind of goes against the spirit of the campaign. So yeah, I don't think we'll use many of those here in the early game. And you just can't do much with 1 operative. So we did get that light tank knocked out. We're not going to build any of those guys because, they're old. So we'll just wait. And lost more support in the house. Still doing okay here, guys. Not too shabby. We have really good support in the Senate. Yeah, so not bad. Not bad at all. We can now change our government. Excellent. So let's go ahead and get... I think we're going to do another design company. We still can't do this one because we don't have the wartime industry. So I typically would go pretty early on that, but we're not able to. I suppose if we got the tank designer now, then that would apply to the tanks that we're currently researching. That would apply to the M3 Stuarts here. And maybe it should because, obviously we want to get more light tanks for 5 more years. So it would be good to get any benefit we're going to do to get it now. So I think that's exactly what we're going to do, guys. That's what we'll use our political power on. If we can. There might be something I want here that I'm not able to get. So if we look at them all, This increases the max speed of armor. I'm already kind of thinking I'm going to get that one just because you guys know I love speed for my units. I find that to be just super, super powerful in this game. So we might go with that just because of how powerful speed is. We've got the reliability and soft attack. That's helpful. Soft attack, you get reliability for most of these though. The Detroit Arsenal would decrease the production cost. Does require a focus, so probably not going to go for that. Even if it would let us build them a lot quicker, it would be helpful, of course, but honestly, production is not really an issue as America. Here, this is going to increase the piercing and heart attack as well as reducing the cost of any destroyers, so that's helpful. And then we have the heart attack bonus here. So I think we're going to go with speed, guys. I could go with heart attack. I can see doing that. We might face some heavier tanks. That's a possibility. Soft attack is obviously quite helpful as well, but you know what, guys, I'm going to do speed. I like speed. Y'all already know. Y'all knew as soon as I went in here that I was going to go for that one. So yeah, we're going to get that, and then that should apply immediately to these tanks here that we're currently researching. That'll up their speed a bit. Make them a little bit faster. All right. So she was able to circumnavigate the globe, Earhart, so that does mean that we'll be able to use her. We'll get access to her as an ace pilot, since she did not die, which is good. So still working on that equipment, guys. I was going to say we could start building some units, but not yet. We're going to have to wait. So we did form our cryptology department, so that means we will now be able to start deciphering somebody's cipher, decrypting, excuse me, their cipher. So I think we should do that faster. We got a lot of countries that we have to hit, so we need to make that go as fast as possible. And you can see it's 960 days without those techs. So we're going to do the British first. I think that's going to be our main enemy in the game, considering the fact that, or at least early on, considering the fact, you know, with their relationship with Canada, which I do think they'll eventually go free here with the British going down that route on their focus tree. I think they'll end up going independent. They still have this land here, and then of course the British have that big old massive fleet that we're going to have to deal with. So I do think they'll be our main rival early on, and so therefore we should get their decryption done first. We do have the Fair Labor Standards Act opened up, and while I was going to go start getting these naval techs, guys, or naval focuses, because we definitely need them, I feel like this is too important not to get now, especially when we have the support, because we don't always have the support of both houses. So I feel like we should go ahead and get this because obviously that penalty, man, is just devastating. See, it's hitting our political power, our resources, our recruitable population. You know, obviously we need to use more of our civilian factories for consumer goods. The nationalists were defeated over here, as expected. I did want to see who all had sent rivals there. It's kind of a bummer I forgot to look at that. That would have been interesting to see, who all sent volunteers here. That's what I meant to say. I've been interested to see who all would have sent them volunteers, since, assume that the Germans and the Italian communists would have sent it to the Republicans this time, since, obviously normally they send them to the nationalists, but they are, communists, so I assume they did. And then you had the Soviet Union as well, so I bet the Republicans stomped all over the nationalists. We do have some civilian factories opened up. Let's see how we're doing on the fuel. So we're getting one more. I want to get it up to 1 million eventually, and want to have a lot of fuel stockpiled so we don't have any issues with that. But obviously there's other things we need to get right now. So let's go after some more military factories. We also want to get more dockyards too. Not a lot of good bonuses here in the center of the country. Of course, that's not surprising. We do want to keep slots open up for, on the coast here for dockyards, but I don't think it's a major concern, guys. I think we'll have plenty of room for building dockyards. We don't typically have any problem where we don't have enough dockyards. I do expect we'll have plenty. Let's go ahead and get some dockyards building as well. How many do we have? Let's get us up to 35, guys. So about 4 more. Yeah, that's fine. We'll do 5 more. All right. So again, big focus on the Navy. We got the bracket shooting, and we'll go ahead and get the separate fire mains now. Do we want to use the experience? Because we still have to get our destroyers designed. You know what? Before we select this, let's make sure we have the experience, because I'm going to go ahead and design these now, guys. I feel like we should. We haven't done the destroyers yet. We need to. We're going to have lots of problems with the German submarines, so we don't have anybody to take care of that. You know, we still have to do our support light cruisers too. Yeah, haven't done those yet. But let's go and do these destroyers, guys. It's going to get them built out here. We're going to need these for the those submarines. You already know. All right, so we're going to want sonar here. Again, don't have the radar here just yet. Of course, we want to get these torpedoes in here. And then this is just going to be depth charges, guys. This is what these guys are going to be doing for us. And they will be our sub hunters. Or we can call them wolf hunters, since they'll be hunting down the wolf packs. Yeah, I think that's good. Let's go ahead and have them named after historical destroyers. Well, let's go ahead and change up their icon, I suppose. I didn't change up the icon to the torpedo cruisers. That's my bad. We need to do that. So we'll do that in a minute. Let's first get some for them. I like the crab for my submarine hunters. The idea that they're like down on the bottom of the ocean, like reaching up, grabbing the submarines, destroying them. Kind of silly, I suppose, but I like the crab. I like to try and utilize all these if we can. All right, so we got our crabs. Let's go ahead and put them right there. Give them some dockyards, which we'll have to pull from the cruisers. That's fine. We did get a lot of cruisers built in this time, guys. You know what? Do we have the experience? I think we do, guys, to get our support cruisers. So let's go and do that. So we're going to take which design? Probably the torpedo cruisers. Yeah, I think we'll take the torpedo cruisers and make use of these to change up their design. All right, guys, so this is going to be our support cruiser. Now, typically I'll add, instead of having the third anti-air here, I would have the extra catapult here so that we could have much better detection for sub and surface detection, but we already added that for those torpedo cruisers. So they'll perform that service for us. We don't need to have multiple ships in each fleet to have these. It's not necessary. So we'll just focus solely on anti-air here and get a very, very good anti-air score for the early game. That's not bad at all. Of course, we could get even higher if we wanted to by adding another one here. But I feel like we should have some cruisers, especially because we haven't really built a lot of destroyers. And we're also facing the Germans, so I think we should have some depth charges on one of our cruisers, at least one. So yeah, we'll have the depth charges on this support cruiser. It's very fitting, I feel. And this will be their icon. Let's go and save that. Remember the, oh, I might have accidentally messed that up, guys. So we're going to have to pull this back here and say we still want that to be, we don't want to decommission that. All right, excellent. So yeah, we'll have our support cruisers, torpedo cruisers, and attack cruisers. 3 different type of cruisers for right now. I don't think the support cruiser is going to be our AA cruisers, so we're not going to build those. So we'll just have these 3 here. And then as for the destroyers, I don't think this is going to be a very destroyer-focused campaign, guys. I think we're going to get the destroyers for the submarines, but we're probably only going to have one line. A lot of times I'll have those torpedo destroyers, but I don't think we're going to do that this time, guys. Yeah, I think we should focus our dockyards rather than having a bunch of lines for trying to have like 2 Wolf Hunter lines and then have like 1 for the torpedo cruisers, or excuse me, the torpedo destroyers. We'll just rely on cruisers for that, guys. I think it's fine. So let's go ahead and give these guys as many dockyards as we can here, since we haven't been building any destroyers yet in this campaign. Let's just go ahead and say that we've seen that, so they stop trying to notify us of it. Let's go ahead and now that we've gotten all these everything designed and we know how much experience we have, we know we won't be able to use our experience to research this. That's okay. It does half the time, so it would be nice, but yeah, we'll just have to research it slow. All right. I noticed that we just about had that research done as well. So really knocking these out, which is excellent. We're completely done up there, so yeah, we're just working on these ones here now. Let's go ahead and get these up. All right, excellent. We just hit August 1937. Again, we are trying to get, oh yes, and this Japanese war. I didn't really look at what was going on here. We are trying to get to February, I guess, would be a year. February of 38. So this is the fascist one, and it does appear like the fascists are winning. And you know what, guys? This is not the first time we've seen this happen. In fact, I think every time we set Japan to go communist, they've either lost or took a really, really, really long time to win. So this is actually quite unfortunate if the fascists win. Yeah, that'd be kind of a bummer, because a big part of this is that we have to fight the communists on 2 sides here. And if the Japanese go fascist and start attacking the communists, then, you know, it'd be unfortunate. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, because we've seen this happen once before where the communists turned it around, but it didn't seem like it was this bad, guys. Just as far as how much land they lost, you see they lost 2 provinces here and several here. What I don't understand is why the fascists got control of everything and the communists only got this little space here. Seems like the rebellion happened too quickly. Yeah, I don't know, guys. That's unfortunate. But we now have war here in China. Remember, we had them go the alternate route, so I think that will result in them attacking the warlords to try and consolidate their lands here before fighting the Japanese. Alright, so we've got our anti-tanks, so we'll have to put those into the units. We do need to get all the passive modifiers here, of course. But again, there's so much other stuff to be getting. Just kind of go through these, see what we might want. I guess we'll go after the radio now. Yeah, we're going to grab that. I should have already gotten that. I think I got distracted. Oh no, that's not what happened. What happened, I just assume I get distracted because that's usually what happens. What happened was we decided to get the basic fire control system so that we could get that in time for the battleships. Alright, so of course they're going to start freeing up all of their countries. There's going to be a lot of independent countries out in the realm, or in the world. And I assume that communists are going to attempt to reconquer all those countries that the British freed up. So the Civil War is still ongoing in Spain because they still have the anarchists rise up here. Okay, so they got a lot of land. A lot more than they typically get. We can see they're already losing territory now. Kind of follow along with that. But yeah, I'm a little bit worried about Japan here, guys. I feel like it's not going to go the way that I want it to, but we'll see, because this happened before where I felt pretty confident that they were going to lose, and they didn't. What I did want to see is how long that has reduced it. We're down to 450 days to get the British done. We got the machine tools. Fantastic. So let's go after the construction now, so we can get all this stuff built a little bit quicker. Got a lot of stuff we're building right now. We do still need to get those fuel silos built as well. We only have 513,000. We'll have to take a look at this event, but first, let's get in something selected here. We do need to get the MPs for when we occupy. That's not a priority though. Obviously, maintenance companies and logistic companies will be needed as well. Again, probably not priorities though. I think there's, again, just too much stuff to be getting here. Let's go for the, I think we might start going towards doctrines. Yeah, I kind of want to start doing doctrines, so we could also try and finish up all of our research here before we go down the doctrines. Just try and give us time to maybe get some bonuses there from our focus tree, because we are kind of going down that route. I'm going to get those done a little bit quicker. I mean, it's going to apply no matter what, eventually. We could get these, though. We have the experience to speed them up. Yeah, let's go with this one. Speed that up a little bit, and we'll see what this is. A senator is offering, senator from New Mexico is offering his support. What does he want us to build there? A new munitions plant. Yeah, why not? Let's go and do that, and then we'll just build. I mean, we haven't even started building one of these factories, so we could just change it up here. Cancel the one in Louisiana, and then just build this in New Mexico, even though it's going to be slow. And we'll prioritize that as well. Try and get that done. It is like incredibly windy outside, guys. I don't know how much you guys can hear about that. Hear the wind, but it's very windy outside right now. So you have a Kurdistan. The Kurds have their own nation. They're fighting Turkey. I do expect that they'll likely get defeated. The representative criticizes the president, so we're going to lose some representatives there. We did get the Fair Labor Standards Act, which again is going to modify that Great Depression. All right, so we can't do this one yet, the Federal Housing Act, because we just did that act. So we won't be able to do that yet. Obviously, still need to get the Rubber Reserve Company. So we start building more of our planes, that's going to become an issue. But yeah, I just realized that we can't do this one here, because we don't have enough support. We don't have enough support from the Senate. Yep, we got enough for representatives, but not enough Senate support. Well, that's unfortunate, because I really wanted to do this one right now. Alright, well, we could go down the Air Warplanes Division, so that we could get the fighters built faster. That'd certainly be helpful. Speaking of fighters, we need to start looking at the bigger planes I wanted to start building. I don't think that either of these are going to be a priority. We'll get these later, guys. It's not that important. And then obviously can't do this one yet either. We just don't have enough support from the Senate to do any of these. So yeah, we might do the Air War Plans Division. Let me see if there's anything else that'd be super helpful for us right now. That's probably the one that I think we should get. And we do need to research that, but we'll do that later. Let's do this one so we can build those planes a little bit faster. And we'll take a look and see if we have any planes. And also we should peek at our fleet. We have fully finished building these, the USS Enterprise and the Yorktown. So I was going to get them placed over here so they don't continue. And get all these guys placed over here. Let me make sure that we have all these ships set to go to California. And we want to fix these. Make sure they go to California. Don't deploy somewhere random. Oops. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Did we set this up here? Yeah, we set that up. All right. So I'll just continue getting those ships training up, and again, just really raking in the naval experience, getting a ton of that naval experience from keeping these ships training. And of course, the Turks have already won. Very, very quick war for them. Not surprising. Rebellion did not work out for the Kurds. Let's take a look at how this war is going. Yeah, it does seem these guys are slowly losing territory. Probably put up a fight for a while, though. China, of course, is conquering the warlords. And it looks like Japan is starting to have some more success, maybe. Or at least not losing more territory. Hopefully. We'll see, guys. That war could go on forever. Last time we had Japan go communist, I completely forgot about that. The communists finally won, but it took like years. Very long civil war. I guess that gives us time to prepare, so that's a benefit. So we got the tanks going. Excellent. So let's go ahead and get some stuff for them now. We get these in 30 days. Get them the self-propelled artillery. And we will want to get these light tanks building. Let's go and place them under the motorized. Can we pull from any of this equipment yet? We're still having these problems because of, of course, me changing up those division designs. Did require quite a bit of equipment. So yeah, we're still quite short on everything. Okay, just as far as what we can pull from, there's not a lot, but we could do the support just to get some tanks building. And, oh, we haven't built the anti-tanks yet either. So we're going to need those, and we can put these into our division design. See what we can pull from. There's really not a lot. We'll pull from that again. All right, so let's go ahead and get those added to the division design. Remember, it's this one here. Nope. Wait a minute. It's this one here. We have to get rid of that one there. So let's go ahead and add these on here. 2 anti-tanks get us up to our 40 combat width. Do we have the... Yes, we do have the field hospitals to add in there. Excellent. And just enough experience for this. So I was going to save that. And we could start editing the light tanks. Could get the garrison edited as well, because frankly, we need these guys to be at 10 combat width. So it might be wise to get them edited now with the experience that we have. As far as support companies, probably not going to give them much. At least the engineers, so they'll be able to entrench in better. But other than that, I don't think there's really anything that's worth giving them, frankly. Yeah, I don't see anything worth giving them. They're just going to be defending islands and stuff, so this is probably all that they will have. I won't mess with them again. Could go ahead and name them something. So the names we're looking for is, we're going to get rid of that one. The infantry division, probably not the cav, because again, we're not going to use those. They'll just be used, which you might want to take a look at that. They'll just be used for garrisons. Got the garrison brigade. I'd like to change the name of them, but we don't have to if you like that one. The Marines will be the Marines, of course. And then, light tanks will need a name as well. So yeah, I want to make sure that the cav is set to be our garrison division. All right, excellent. It is. Okay, so yeah, just trying to get to February here. Been kind of slow, a little bit slow. That's okay though. So yeah, these guys are going to need a lot of training now. So we just made those adjustments to them. And we have 15 of those divisions. And again, we'll put them out next episode. We'll start putting them on our islands. We're going to put them in Alaska as well. We have a military factory to get assigned. And is that a... Yeah, so we did take another hit to our infantry equipment again because of those changes to those division designs. All right, well, that's fine. Let's go ahead and put this into the anti-tanks. We need a lot of those to get built. All right. And we got our radio interception group. So if we went with the machine-assisted decryption, it's going to be 10 civilian factories to get that done, guys. But I feel like it's going to be worth it getting it done early here because there's going to be a lot of countries that we're going to want to decipher. Obviously, we got Britain, France, and Germany. You know, those are some of the more immediate threats. The Italians also. The Japanese probably going to take a while before they get involved in this war. And then, of course, we have our neighbors, Mexico and Canada. We're going to want to get those on them as well. So let's go ahead and get... You know what? I think we're done here. I don't think we're going to do the tank destroyers, guys. Yeah, I don't think we're going to do the tank destroyers. We'll just rely on the light tanks for the speed, the breakthrough, which is why it's helpful to have the self-propelled artillery, but we're not going to do tank destroyers. We might want to get tank destroyers for our medium tanks, but obviously not going to get those just yet. Still only in 1937. All right, so probably get these, or this one next. Yeah, so we can get the next artillery. Let's go and get that. I keep forgetting to check the plane situation. This is supposed to be our naval tech, though, so we actually have 2 naval techs here. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the planes. We need to get these larger planes built, don't we? So let's go ahead and do the tactical bombers. We are overstretching ourselves on the military factories, but that's okay. We're going to get that improved. You know, we're building them now. We got 3 more military factories coming. Then we'll focus on these dockyards for a little bit, and then we'll go back to military factories, guys. We could always convert some of those civilian factories to military factories. I don't see the point of doing that, honestly. We can also change up our government here. I know that it's cheaper, but you're always going to need the civilian factories. So why not just keep using them? So we could continue down here and make our choice here and get some research bonuses, and then also these here would allow us to produce the close air support and tactical bombers quicker if that's the route we're going to go. Let's just determine which route we want to go. So this gives us the strategic bomber production cost reduction. This one here will increase the range of the strategic bombers, give us some research bonuses as well for the heavy aircraft. And then this gives us a national spirit and allow us to research the air doctrines quicker. So that's actually nice. That's really nice. This you get no matter what. This one here, as we already saw, lets us produce the close air support and tactical bombers quicker, which I think is a little bit more important than producing the strategic bombers quicker. Though technically, you're getting more of a bonus here because strategic bombers cost more. This one, you're getting a bonus for 2 different types of planes, so I kind of feel like they equal each other out, and maybe this one's slightly better. Research bonuses, yep, some experience as well, and air doctrine bonus, which I don't know which one of these would pay off more, but they're pretty equal size here. I think we're going to go with the air support. So we'll do that, but I don't know that we're going to do that right now. Let's see if there's anything else that we want. Obviously, these are not important anytime soon, so we won't go down those. Could do that rubber reserve company. Can also get this for the political advisors that it offers, which are some pretty good ones here. Yeah, pretty decent ones, I suppose. And then we could do the rubber reserve company to get the rubber. Let me see how we're looking on rubber. Yeah, we're almost there. We only have 1 rubber remaining before we have to start trading again, which we're already trading a civilian factory away for that, guys. So you know what? Let's go and get that. I don't know when we'll have time to research it, but yeah, we'll get it. We know we want to get it eventually, so we'll get it now. So can't do the industrial concern. The theorist, we're going to want to get one of the better ones, which is 250 political power, so we'd have to wait to get one of those. So I think we might do the material designer then. As far as political advisors, we could get somebody who would help us build these military factories quicker. We have the war industrialist here, which allows us to construct military factories and dockyards quicker, which since we're focusing so much on that right now, maybe that is what we want to go for. Could also do the material designer, which we'll probably do the infantry equipment designer. You know, guys, I think we will go ahead and do the war industrialist. I think that's the best one for us right now. Like the one that's going to like pay off the most. So let's go and get that. And Henry will help us build these factories and dockyards quicker. So we got our radio detection. Man, that wind is so powerful. We can go get the synthetic oil experiment so we can start moving down this. I don't know if that research bonus for this focus here. Let me just take a look. Yeah, it only applies to the rubber processing. So yeah, we could go ahead and knock this out so that as soon as we get that, we could go down the rubber processing and get that one. And it'll be faster. So yeah, I think we'll go with this one, guys. Now, it is never more beneficial to build refineries than it is to just trade for the rubber you need. But if you don't have anybody to trade with, then you really don't have an option. and all we'll have to trade with is the Brazilians, which is not going to be nowhere near enough. So we now have the civil war happening in Mexico. We've got the Mexican Republic, which is the Democratic faction, and then we have the just Mexico, which is our communist here. All right, so let's see how things go. Again, we're hoping the communists win, so that we have an enemy here on our southern border to fight. Still not going to build any divisions, guys. I don't really see the point, guys. I know we have manpower, but the equipment just will be, lacking so much equipment that they just won't be able to train. So we've gotten the separate fire mains, and so I believe that leaves just a couple techs left. If we start doing putting the mines out there, which we probably should do that, we would need to design a mine ship, which we could either do submarines or destroyers. Destroyers are more efficient, but submarines can help avoid getting sunk, so it's more useful for if we were wanting to mine up the English Channel or something like that. Once we were able to do that, obviously we don't have the range yet. But yeah, we could do the submarines could probably reach over there, so we could mine up the English Channel or something. But I think we'll probably just use destroyers, guys. Yeah, but we might want to get that eventually. Not a priority right now, though. At this moment, I think we'll probably do this one here, and then we are done until 1940 with the naval techs. And from there, we can work on the naval doctrines if we wanted to. Ooh. All right, so let's go and get this one. And we'll even spend the experience to get it done a little bit quicker. So we did get our light self-propelled artillery, so we'll use that one factory we just built to start getting these guys going. I'd really like to get... Oh, we got a bunch of factories. We got 2 factories. So let's go and place this into something that we're lacking. Probably artillery. Yeah, but I definitely want to get some tanks built before we end up in the actual conflict. Of course, this will cause some issues here with the borders, but I'm not too worried about it, guys. Because, of course, we're not going to war with Mexico anytime soon. So, yeah, we're done here now, guys. So, if we wanted to, we could start working on the naval doctrines. We are about to hit 1938, though, so I think we should probably just go ahead and start working on the 1938 techs instead. So, we'll get that one, allowing us to research everything a little bit faster. All right, so we're going to play for a few more minutes, guys. And then we're going to have to end this second episode. A lot of stuff happening around the world. Obviously, we're not playing a huge role in any of that just yet. Just kind of building up, getting ready. 187 days till we get the UK's Cipher done. But yeah, when you're going to fight the world, you're going to need a lot of time to get ready. Continuing to have these witch high pursuits. Oh man, 40 representatives. That's a lot. Jeez. All right, we still have control here. And we have more power in the Senate, so maybe if this gets done and nothing changes for the next 20-something days, we might actually be able to get one of those focuses that I'm trying to get. Specifically that naval one, which is going to just give us a ton of dockyards. And increase our dockyards by a significant number. I think it's like 5 or 6 dockyards. We got the construction too. Let's go with the excavation now. And we have a decision available. Okay, so we can get some resources down here, some more aluminum. Don't need that right now, though. I don't even know that we will need that we might need that, maybe not soon, but eventually we're going to need that. The Brazilians have another 8 rubber to trade for. And we find ourselves in issues, but we're hoping to try and solve that eventually on our own. So now that we knocked that out, we are done until 1940. We're not going to get any more naval techs. Mines I'm not too concerned about. That's something we'll get later. Again, just not a priority when there's so many other things to get. So we're in 1938. Could go ahead and get some of these infantry techs here, but I think we're gonna wait on those. We should probably get the radar here so we can put those on our ships. Yeah, we'll get that. That'll be super helpful. And actually, that's gonna have to be the end of today's episode, guys. Unfortunately, I'm trying to get as far as we can because I'm really excited for this conflict. I'm excited to see what exactly is going to happen with the world, and I'm just hoping that everybody joins the Allies like I want. Of course, nobody has just yet. I think the only thing that's going to force people to join the factions is wars breaking out. Yeah, I think that's what's going to end up happening because I don't think too many people are going to have a focus to join a communist allies. As soon as a war breaks out between any of the communist powers, then it should hopefully pull them all in. The problem that I'm worried about is if two communist powers go to war with each other. So like, let's say you have the Soviet Union attack Poland, and Poland's communist too, right? And then the Soviets attack them. Maybe the British invite the Polish into their faction, and then that results in, you know, a problem. But hopefully that should only happen once with one country, if it happens at all. And then the rest should all kind of join as we want. But again, hoping it all works out all right. We'll just have to see. What might end up having to happen is that we'll have to declare war on somebody. And then when we declare war, then it'll result all the communists all kind of join into one faction. We'll just have to see. We'll have to see what happens, guys. But I'm excited to see how the world develops. Because this is the first time I've ever tried to do this, have this world communism. We've kind of had big communist factions before, but I've never really set it up the way I did this time. So I'm hoping it works out for future campaigns, whenever we want to do this again, or something like it. Or like a world fascist situation. Would be another possible scenario we could have for a later series. But yeah, this is going to be the end of today's episode. Hope you guys did enjoy it. We got a lot of stuff done here, getting our fleet built up, getting our industry built up, and of course making a lot of adjustments to our army divisions as well. Getting these guys all changed up and going with that 40 width division design, which does take a long time to get all the equipment built for that, but I think it'll pay off later. You know, never having to make that transition from the 20 width to 40 width, I think it'll pay off, guys. So hope you did enjoy the episode. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. I do hope to see you guys on the next episode, and thanks for watching.